Well, hello everyone and welcome to Kelci's Corner. If this is your first time, I'm Kelci O'Donnell and this is our WNCT Now digital studio, a place I like to call my corner. And this is a time where I get to break down the latest sports news headlines. And while it is no secret that the coronavirus has changed the plans of many athletes, sports fans, whoever you may be, but there is hope. And we begin in North Carolina on the high school ranks. The NCHSAA announced earlier this week that the dead period set in place in March expires on June 1st. But what does that mean? Okay, so during the dead period, high schools were unable to require activities for their student athletes. Now, with that limit being lifted, athletes could begin workouts as soon as June 1st. This is not saying that they will, it is just an option. High School OT reported that while this is good news for high school athletics in North Carolina, it's far from a done deal. The specific date of return will be in the hands of each individual high school and their parenting county. So, although June 1st is the set date, many athletes will not hit the field, court, etc. until later this summer at best. Turning to golf, the PGA Tour plans to resume its schedule during the second week of June. The month of June sounds pretty good to me already. 4 events are set to be held, beginning with the first round of the Charles Schwab Challenge at the Colonial in Fort Worth, Texas on June 11th. There will be no fans in attendance, and according to The Athletic, if this plan and the many others are followed, the PGA Tour could sponsor up to 36 tournaments this season instead of the scheduled 48. Now, this one comes as a little bit of a shock to me personally, but one of the nation's largest volleyball tournaments is set to go on next month. The Amateur Athletic Union's annual tournament that featured nearly 2,800 teams last summer alone will be played in Orlando, Florida, beginning June 16th. Roughly 110 visitors were in attendance last year, according to USA Today. The organization says there will be regular temperature checks for the athletes before competition, courts will be sanitized regularly, and no international teams will participate this year. The AAU wrote in a news release that the safety of the participants is our highest priority, and we do not make this decision lightly. And lastly, start those engines because NASCAR is back this weekend. Sunday, May 17th is the set date with no fans except the ones behind the television screens in attendance. The excitement will resume at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina with the Premier Cup Series racing 4 times in an 11-day span. The lineup will be determined in part by random drawing for starting positions. The entire list of details can be found on NASCAR.com. Sports Director Brian Bailey and anchor Nolan Knight will have the full report as the races continue. That will do it for this week's Kelci's Corner. I'm Kelci O'Donnell here in our digital studio. Thank you so much for tuning in.